Hello, everybody. It's the middle of the week. Hello, everybody. It's the middle of the week, which means it's hump day. Hello, everybody. It's the middle of the week, which means it's hump day. Hello, everybody. It's the middle of the week, which means it's hump day. All right. Yeah, I know you guys might have heard an echo right there, but I was just testing something, making sure that the sound was okay, considering it. Yesterday, came to find out a little late in the broadcast that apparently there was something funky with my mic, so I was just checking it to make sure it was working. We don't have that problem. It would seem that it is working, so hopefully. Let me just take care of something here. All right, as we're just waiting for more people to come in, I hope everybody's having a good week thus far. With that, let's see. So let's see. Well, we'll give it a few minutes. As always, of course, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here. That would help. Also, if anything we talk about tonight grabs your attention, feel free to comment and/or ask questions. I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. Let's see. Probably just waiting for the 3-minute mark to where I'll talk about what. And as you guys may have noticed, I got my hair cut today. Got it all taken off. Of course, my sister reminded me when she got home that, of course, even though we're kind of in a brief warming trend for the next couple of days, by the weekend we're going to possibly get some rain again. But, as many of you know, it's been a bit overdue. So, my hair needed to get cut. So, all right. So, anyways, I'm going to step away for a moment because I do want to check a couple of things real quick. I'll be right back. But while I'm gone, I'll put some music on. And I will be right back. All right, I'm back now. Just had to check them. Hey, Woody. There's Woody. Hey, Woody. Uh, anyways, I guess you must have just popped in just after I stepped away or something like that. Anyways, well, let me see. And do one more quick. I'm gonna take one more little side trip here, and then I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Um, let's see. So we're actually at 7 minutes now, so I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about what's on tap for tonight. Well, yeah, Jason Myers. Okay. What's your favorite hair hairman cancel? Oh, I'm trying to click the wrong thing here. What's your favorite Harman? I have no idea what Harman even is. Anyways, um, I have no idea what Harman is. I have no idea what Harman is. Sounds clear enough. So, anyways, as I said, if anything that we talk about tonight grabs your attention, feel free to comment and/or ask questions. I will try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. You can like and share the stream too, see if we can get some more friendly people here. That'd be appreciated. With that, let's go ahead and get. So, what's on tap for tonight? Well, basically, it's just going to be kind of a CBR roundup. There weren't a whole lot of stories on Founding in the Comics. I burned through a few. I mean, they're like two or three, but I figure I'll let it build a little bit more. One of them I was considering doing, but then I realized no, probably don't want to touch that particular story with a 10-foot fork, 10-foot pole. So I'll let Bounding in the Comics build up another day to see if maybe some more stories will come out of interest. But for tonight, we're going to do a little CBR roundup. Start off in the anime section and do some, of course, run through the comic section and TV animation section as well. Let's see. Aside from that, um, aside from that, all right. So with that being said, anyways, also have the wrestling roundup and this day in each history. So without all that being said, why don't we go ahead and get started um, on the articles here. Now I got the cat. That I guess is begging my sister, I guess, for something. Oh wait, actually, that's not even where I wanted to go first. I actually wanted to go anime first. Come to comics a little later. Let's see. Let's see. I'm just. There was an article that I think by now is like at least a day ago. I saw earlier that I was trying to. Oh, here we go. This is the first article I want to start off with here because something I saw earlier. It's inside of a day. Normally, I don't go beyond like one day ago, but this one grabbed my attention. I knew, but when I first saw it, I think it just came like a day ago. So, and I think I'd start with this one and just go through stuff. So here we go. Manga artist blasts Japan's in smaller quotes dumb dress code for schoolgirls. Popular manga author um, publicly denounces the strict dress codes that high school students in Japan, particularly girls, are forced to deal with. Article by Renee Senza Tamore, published one day ago. An outspoken manga artist openly criticized the strict dress codes at most Japanese high schools. As detailed by Japan Today, Masayuki Ishikawa, creator of the slice of life manga Moyashimon, posted a lengthy message on Twitter condemning the fact that students in Japan, especially girls, are forced to adhere to the dress code even when weather conditions necessitate different clothes to stay warm. Um, Ishikawa also pointed out that teachers have more freedom regarding what they can wear. Japan Today included a translated version of the original tweet. Let's see. Ishikawa suggested adults follow the same dress code. Quote, I used to think high school girls were really tough. What with how they walk around with bare legs in the winter, unquote, Ishikawa said. Quote, but the rules at the school my daughter attends include that the only leg coverings they're allowed to wear, other than a skirt, are the socks specified by the school. Um, if they wear anything more than that, they get yelled at by the teachers. Um, who are all bundled up in tights. Um, Uniqlo, Uniqlo Heat Tech, and other lined wear. If those adults had to walk around outside for even 2 seconds wearing just a pleated skirt and socks, they'd be completely wrecked. Why don't men understand? Oh boy, a little bit of men bashing here, but at least thus far, at least the manga author at least has somewhat of a legitimate point here. You know, because Japan does have some seasonal dress codes where, like, you know, I think sometimes though the weather, where maybe the weather may dictate, maybe they may have to change the attire a little, because I think there are like summer and winter clothing, and I think in the wintertime the clothing are usually a little bit thicker, skirts a little longer, but I understand it. Anyways, as many anime protagonists are high school or middle school age, school uniforms are a common sight in Japanese animation. However, Ishikawa shed light on the practical issues of these required uniforms. The artist's message received over 30,000 likes on social media, with many comments stating that teachers should follow the same rules as the students. Others shared stories about how these rules caused actual harm, such as one individual who said that their classmates got hives on their legs due to continued exposure to the cold. Yeah, I mean, some of the complaints here I think are more found, more grounded. I think it's a case of, um, but just you know, I think the reason, of course, they have a different dress code for the students as for the teachers because the students should be focusing on their schoolwork, not on, I think one of the arguments that was used here, like in the States before, was that, well, if we adopted school uniforms, then, nobody would be worrying about everybody, everybody would basically be the same. It wouldn't be like, um, you know, but particularly at some of the like the private schools or some of the more affluent area schools, you know, there's more to it too. So, anyways, Masayuki Ishikawa is best known as the creator of Moyashimon, Tales of Agriculture, serialized in Kodansha's evening magazine from July 2004 to June 2013. This zany comedy manga revolves around a college student named Tadayatsu Sawaki who can communicate with bacterial microorganisms. Okay, that's an interesting ability. Being able to communicate with bacterial microorganisms. Wow. Okay. While this power makes him a minor celebrity in his school's agricultural department, it also leads to many bizarre situations. Shirogumi Inc. in Telecom Animation Film adapted the series into an anime lasted 2 seasons. Consisted of 23 episodes. Some might guess a 12 episode season, 11 episode season, most likely. Albeit it could be 13 and 10, much like the first 2 seasons of Banner of the Stars. A live action series adaptation starring Yuichi Nakamura as Tadayasu debuted in July 2010 and ran for 11 episodes, concluding in September 2010. Moya Shimon is available to stream on Crunchyroll. The manga is available in English from Del Rey Comics. All right, there we go with that one. Again, that article kind of caught my attention. So, and as I said, if anything here, if anything here, of course, catches your attention or feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. Well, let's see now. Okay, let's see. Demon Slayer, everything viewers need to. That'd be a bit of a spoiler. SpongeBob and Chin. All right, this one could be let's see, comical fan made crossover video. That might be a spoiler, just I got to Ragnarok all three. My Family's novel and guidebook get an English Okay, so here we go. Here's something here. Spy Family's novel and guidebook get an English language release. Spy Family fans will have a full fall season ahead of them this year with the release of Spy Family novel and fan guidebook coming up. Article by Hilary Long, published a day ago. This is classified information permitted for the eyes of Spy Family fans only. A guidebook and novel from the action comedy series will release later this year. According to Anime Dork, okay, Viz Media announced it would release the novel Spy Family Family Portrait and the official guidebook Spy Family The Official Guide Eyes Only as part of their fall 2023 lineup. The novel will disclose 5 original stories that feature the family going on all kinds of outings, including Anya going on a camping trip, Yuri's babysitting adventure with Anya, Frankie looking for romantic advice from Lloyd, Yours terror amidst a family portrait painting session, and a story about strangers observing the forgers. Oh, those are always fun. Whenever you have like an offbeat family comedy, whether it's of course Spy Family or like Munsters or Bewitched or the Addams Family, you always have to worry about the nosy neighbors. Even Small Wonder, if you guys remember Small Wonder from the mid to late '80s, there, Tiffany Brissett as Vicky the robot. So yeah, you always have to worry about. As I recall from Small Wonder too. No, 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 no. Edie McClure's character there said that. So, um, anyways, let's see. Getting back to the article here. Let's see. All right, let's see. Spy Family, the official guide Eyes Only, includes behind the scenes details and interview with mangaka Tatsuya Endo, unseen illustrations, as well as illustrations from 16 artists as, as tribute to the series. These artists include Hell's Paradise, Jigoku Kuraku's Yuji Kaku, oh boy, um, Blue Exorcist Kazue Kato, and Attack on Titan's Hajime Isayama. Try saying those 3 times fast, folks. Spy Family fans have a lot to look forward to. The fall is proving to be a busy year for Spy Family. During Jump Festa 2023, that occurred in December 2022, the Spy Family panel revealed plans for a second season and a new movie. Details around the film remain scarce, although Endo released an adorable illustration showcasing the forgers flying in a bright red plane to watch the movie at the time of the announcement. Most recently, at the 2023 Taipei International Comics and Animation Festival, so TICA, so TICAF, that spells out the acronym TICAF, I guess. TICAF or TICAF. Tatsuya Nakatake, co-founder of Wit Studio, revealed the studio hopes to release both the second season and movie sometime in the fall of this year. Spy Family has stolen fans' hearts worldwide for depicting a rather unusual family. On the outside, most people wouldn't think there's anything amiss about the Forgers. The father, Lloyd Forger, is a respected psychiatrist, while the mother, Yor Breyer, is a civilian worker. Lloyd always appears out of nowhere and seems to know everything, almost as if he were a spy. And Yor has jaw-dropping acrobatic skills, a love for sharp and shiny objects, and creative ways to kill someone. If nobody knew any better, they'd think she was an assassin. Just what I was thinking. Meanwhile, the elite private school, Eden Academy, recently accepted their sweet little girl Anya, who sometimes says the strangest things, almost like she can read people's minds. Ooh. Let's see. What's your favorite disgusting egg and cheese sandwich? I don't have. I don't think anybody would have a favorite disgusting egg and cheese sandwich. Ah, is Demon Slayer disappointing? Well, from what I've seen of it, no, I don't find it disappointing. Anyways. Let's get back to the article here. So I can find the cursor, of course. Endo's manga series has reached 29 million copies in circulation as of December 2022, and several volumes have landed on the New York Times bestseller list since May 2021. Spy Family received the award for Best Manga Series at the French Babelio Readers Awards and received nominations for Best Manga at the Eisner and Harvey Awards. Um, the series received an anime adaptation courtesy of Wit Studios and Cloverworks collaboration, bringing the series to fans to fan screens in April 2022. The first season of Spy Family is available to stream on Hulu and Crunchyroll. The novel and guidebook will release in the fall of this year. About 7 months down the line a bit there. Something to look forward to, right? All right, let's see. What do we now? One Piece underrated Frankie moments that are often sidelined. Let's see. Real Japanese folklore and mythology behind the story of Spirited Away. Okay. Look at that article. That sounds like an interesting story to get into a little bit. Spirited Away, the classic Studio Ghibli film, as it were. The real Japanese folklore and mythology behind the story of Spirited Away. Spirited Away is inspired by Japanese folk beliefs and mythology. All these references resonate with the voices of Japan's past and present. Article by Talisha um, Vastava, published a day ago. There's the scenes in the movie right there. Spirited Away is still one of the top grossing Studio Ghibli film movies, both in Japan and the West. It is an adventure and coming-of-age film in which the main character, a young girl by the name of Chihiro, embarks on a quest to save her family from a supernatural spell. While influences of Western stories, art, and architecture is evident, as Hayao Miyazaki himself expressed, Spirited Away is replete with Japanese folklore, tradition, and symbolism. And I believe many of Studio Ghibli films are filled with that kind of stuff. Indeed, the title Spirited Away, which translates to Kamikakushi, alludes to Japanese folklore cultural beliefs. The idea behind Kamikakushi is that sometimes people are, quote, taken away by spirits, unquote, and throughout history, this has been used as a comfort for parents who lose their children. Furthermore, the film's principal characters, such as Yubaba, a descendant of Yamauba, or mountain witch, and Kamaji, a Tsuchigumo, or earth spider, are reminiscent of characters found throughout Japanese folklore. The folklore of Kamikakushi, which I guess is that kind of black, shadowy aura thing right there. Which I guess would, well, Kami is using God. Kamikakushi was the often somewhat consoling belief that a missing family member had not met with a dreadful accident, but rather had been taken on a long and interesting journey and might even return someday. In the past, whenever a family member had suddenly disappeared and could not be found for a long time, especially if they were women or children, it was presumed, quote, they had met Kamikushi. Sudden disappearances were often attributed to the spirit realm, as people believed that spirits took the person to the spirit world. The protagonist of the movie, Chihiro, was indeed taken to the spirit world, from where she tried to escape before forgetting her name. Chihiro entered and left the spiritual realm through a tunnel. It is a common Japanese superstition that tunnels serve as a gateway between the human and spirit world. Moreover, the locus of the spirit's recreational place, a bathhouse, is located across a bridge. Conventionally, in Japanese folklore, bridges, tunnels, and crossroads are often considered to be a demarcation point between this world and the other. Some interesting stuff there. Uh, let's see. Kamiko Kudishi and Young Obama. Okay, Woody. That's kind of funny. Kami Kukushi to the spirit world. Okay. Kami Kakushi. Um, Kami, the term kami in Japanese, Kami, actually means God in Japan. You know, kamis are considered like godheads or, deities in Japanese culture. So, Anyway, the mountain witch Yamauba. It is believed that more than 8 million deities reside in Japan, and some of these appear in the movie to either take a bath or work at a bathhouse. Okay, isn't that interesting? You have a bunch of deities who either are bathing or working in a bathhouse. Can you imagine getting God to sit there and clean a bathroom? You probably could just by doing this, or like if you guys remember Jim Carrey movie, right? Anyways, the most notable deity among them is Yubaba, the witch who owns the bathhouse. She is an avaricious witch, old witch, who is always strict toward her workers. The character design of Yubaba is inspired by Yamauba, the mountain witch who devours unsuspecting humans that happen upon her path. Sounds a little bit like the witch that Hansel and Gretel met up with, huh? In many ways, she can be considered the Japanese counterpart of the witch in Hansel and Gretel of the Grimm brothers. Oh, man. Okay. Did I not foretell that one or what? Or the Baba Yaga of Russian folk tales. Furthermore, Yamauba is often portrayed in an unflattering manner, but one of Yamauba's redeeming qualities is her nurturing character, often associated with motherhood. In the movie, she is the mother of Bo, who was a red harakake and is extremely large. Yubaba taking away people's names is an indication of her ability to practice dark magic, as is her ability to turn herself into a monstrous bird. The river deity Haku, not to be confused with the professional wrestler, obviously. Um, and Haku there looks kind of looks like, for the most part, the body of a serpent or a dragon with legs of a bird. A bird-legged dragon or serpent there. That seems a little bit interesting. Throughout the movie, Haku helps Chihiro as much as he could, and Chihiro repays him by saving his life and helping him remember his real self. Haku had forgotten his identity as a river deity named Nigayami Kohakumushi, the god of the swift and amber river, quote unquote. Simply called the Kohaku River in English dub. Kohaku, which is also the name of a character from Inuyasha, of course. Um, in Japanese kanji, Haku translates to white. He, as in Hakushi, the professional wrestler. If you remember Hakushi, the professional wrestler, he was dressed pretty much in all white with white face paint and all that. Those of you who might remember the old WWF days, WWE days, or WWF days. He wears white in his human form throughout the movie, and later reveals his true form as a white dragon after remembering his identity. Nigayami Kohakumushi is likely a reference to the old Japanese tale of Nigihahi. In stories, Nigihayami is an important character who marries the sister of Nagasu Mexico, the chief of a powerful native clan. However, Nigayami leaves Nagasu Mexico. Hiko, I believe, means maiden, I believe, and swears his loyalty to the emperor. In the movie, Haku is also set up to betray everyone at the beginning of the story, hoping to learn Yubaba's magic for himself at the cost of his friends, especially the trust of Kamaji. Moreover, his act of Haku betraying Yubaba to help Chihiro, similar to the deity's betrayal in the folktales. The spirit of the spider Kamaji. And of course, anybody who's watching the anime knows a thing or two about some earth spiders. We've seen our fair share of Tsuchigomis and a few Tsuchigumos in a number of anime. I don't. All right. So, and if you haven't already, guys, if you guys can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here. That'd be appreciated. With that, continuing on here. The spirit of the spider Kamaji. In the movie, Kamaji is an old man in charge of controlling the boiler room. He has 6 long arms and 2 legs, resembling a spider, or more appropriately, a Japanese spirit called Tsuchigumo. Despite his unusual appearance, Kamaji is a kind man who understands human emotions. It is often considered in the stories that Tsuchigumo refers to less cultivated indigenous people who had lived before the heavenly descendants claimed his authority. More specifically, Tsuchigumo is an appellation used derogatorily in ancient Japanese literature for those who defied imperial authority. Yeah, calling your detractors a bunch of earth spiders. That was probably something. Yeah, get a lot of people's attentions. No wonder Peter Parker gets such a bad rap. In Spirited Away, Yubaba can most likely be paralleled to the central authority ruling bathhouse from the top of the building, while Kamaji is similar to Tsuchigumo, who live in the pit dwelling or bottom floor. While Kamaji does not openly go against Yubaba, he does not always go along with her either. Sometimes he outright resists Yubaba's wishes. The most evident example of this occurs when Kamaji protects not only Chihiro, but also Haku, abandoned and left for dead by Yubaba. However, despite that, Kamaji works for Yubaba as some Tsuchigumo did. Other mythological references in Spirited Away. You see, we're at 45 minutes. Okay. some other mythological. So there are certainly more references to Japanese culture and mythology in the movie. A lot of the spirits seen in the bathhouse are based on designs of yokai, a class of supernatural entities and spirits in Japanese folklore. I think yokai are like demons. Um, there's also a reference to shikigami, or soul reapers, as we know from Bleach fame, which originated from an older Japanese form of magic called omyodo. Omyodo. For example, the movie features a swarm of paper birds that are actually spirits, similar to the concept of omyodo. Furthermore, the radish spirit Trasama has cultural significance as well, although his appearance in Miyazaki's creation, this figure was originally inspired by Trasama dolls, which are a popular part of Japanese folklore. These dolls always come in pairs, one shaped like a horse, the other shaped like a woman. Okay, a horsewoman? Actually, I think there was a wrestling faction a few years ago in WWE called the Four Horsewomen, which, of course, Charlotte Flair, I believe, was the leader of that group. Let's see. These are inspired by the legend of Tamaya Gozen and are today considered an agricultural spirit in Japan's Tohoku region. All right, so that was pretty interesting. All right, so before we move on, of course, I'm going to need to step away from the computer for a moment. I'll be right back. So with that, get ready to move on to the next article. We're actually coming up on 2 minutes already. So, hmm. All right, let's take a look at this one. Bochi the Rock's cast is full of inspiring role models for young women. All right, let's take a look at that one. Actually, before we do that, let me just do you have any spoiler alerts here? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Right. Bochi the Rock's cast is full of inspiring role models for young women. The all-female cast of the 2022 hit anime is a group of strong, independent women who know who they are and what they want. Article by Alice uh, Gallo, published 22 hours ago. Right, so here we go here. Anime doesn't always have to be action-driven shonen titles with male teen protagonists and plenty of bloodshed. Well, true, yeah. Um, Sometimes a show can be as simple as girls wanting to start a band. And Bochi the Rock is not the first anime to do this either. It has K-On! Comes to mind quite a bit. K-On! And then K-On! Double exclamation marks. That's one. Another one that's kind of a about girls starting up. Well, of course, there are there's Idol Maker. There's a few idol type shows too, like Chance Pop Session, Idol Maker. Um, there's another one. I can't even think of the name. Oh, Love Live. Love Live. So, anyways, in the fall 2022 anime season, Boki the Rock proved. Oh, Nana's another one. I just remembered Nana as well. Um, Proved to the world that even slice of life anime can be excellent. Its MAL or My Anime List score topped even the The Astonishing Chainsaw Man, probably the most hyped show of 2022. What made this unexpected viral success possible was a mixture of great humor, beautiful animation, and brilliant character writing. Mochi the Rock is populated by young women with well-rounded personalities and complex dreams, funny quirks, and a strong sense of who they are and what they want. For female fans of anime, who are often subjected to simplistic and sexualized versions of women, Bochi the Rock may feel like a breath of fresh air. Again, I would counter that with, Nana. Not Nana 707, just Nana. Bochi's world is an all-female space. Whether intentional or not, Bochi the Rock relegates its male characters to the sidelines. In addition to Bochi, the spotlight falls on the other band members, Ryo, Ijichi, and Kita, and the manager of the club they work and perform at, all of whom are young women. In the first few episodes, even when featured in the scene, Bochi's father's face is never shown. A curious choice that might reflect a desire to show, for once, women living dreaming and working without men. Um, let's see. What's even more fascinating is that the young women of Bocchi the Rock each represents a different side of femininity. There's no one way to be a woman or a girl. One can be shy or exuberant, an introvert or an extrovert, a leader or a follower, a dreamer or a lone wolf. Bocchi and her friends prove that women can be all these things and much more. Bocchi is following her dream despite her social anxiety. When she is still in middle school, Bocchi watches a famous band being interviewed on TV. When one of the members admits to having been an outcast back in school, Bocchi has a sudden epiphany. Learning to play the guitar will finally allow her to fit in. While that doesn't work out exactly the way she imagines, Bocchi becomes an internet phenomenon and an incredible solo guitar player in a world of music that's too often dominated by men. Confirmed by who Bocchi sees on TV and live, Bocchi herself is an inspiring exception. No way is Bocchi a female guitarist, but she is also not only is Bocchi a female guitarist, but she is also a victim of social anxiety who manages to push through it. While the show exploits most of her weaknesses for comedy, it never does so in a disrespectful way. Her difficulties are never downplayed, but rather experienced with her and her fellow band members, and her fellow band members are always patient and willing to wait for her to get through her most challenging moments. For all the girls and young women struggling to be heard or seen, as well as all of those coexisting with anxiety, Bocchi is a beacon of hope. Now, mind you, this sounds like a nice story. It sounds like a good story. I think my feel on the take on the article, though, it's almost like this the person writing this article might be pushing a little too hard on the whole idea. Okay, women can live without men. Bit, you know, granted there at least I haven't seen any like full on anti male male thing being said here. Just the closest thing is that women could live without men. Um, which is not entirely true because there is a biological need for women to reproduce at some point in their life. You know, um, and the only way they can do that, of course, is at least with men's sperm, even if they don't go through the whole process of intercourse, but there's still a biological drive to continue the lines, as it were. Bocchi's fellow band members express their femininity in different ways. Igishi brings the band together, and Kita infuses it with life. Um, in Bocchi the Rock, they are the extroverts and the most traditionally feminine characters. Kita is naturally beautiful, cute, and nice, what a girl is often expected to be by society. While all of this is true and valid, her blatant attraction for Rio and her determination to learn the guitar, despite all the effort she has to muster, both contrast with the images of a nice, pretty girl and the audience might be used to. That the audience might be used to. Igishi is just as exuberant and friendly, But unlike Kita, she is the person who takes charge and makes things happen. She recruits the band members, gathers the money, and organizes the meetings. Without her, the Kesoku band wouldn't exist. Her closest friend, Rio, couldn't be more different. Aside from Ijishi, Rio has barely any friends and loves being alone and appearing edgy and cool. She is the disruptor, always coming up with shaking things up. However, Rio's androgynous nature is her most notable trait. Already sporting an eccentric haircut and fashion style, she also likes to play with her appearance, once transforming her image altogether to a masculine suit and a short haircut, and has no qualms about playing with ideas of sexuality. She talks about being with other women and clearly entertains Kita's crush on her. She is the farthest person in the group from a traditional young woman. Hmm. Yeah, you can tell there's a little more propaganda here in this article, propagandizing. But, hmm. Anyways, surprisingly, Bochi herself responds to the idea of hitting on women with complete ease. Her only objection comes from the conviction that no one would want to be with her at all. Another interesting personality is Ijishi's older sister, the manager of the club, whose aloofness and strength make her a more stereotypically quote unquote smaller quote masculine character. Her relationship with her collaborator, Pa San, is close and ambiguous enough to let the audience imagine that there could be more than a friendship there. In Bocchi the Rock's world, which is virtually devoid of men, Bocchi and the other young women are free to explore their femininity in a safe space where everything is allowed. Some are cool and collected, others exuberant and driven, but all know who they are, what their dreams are, and who they want to become. While under the male gaze, they might be forced to become side characters in Bocchi the Rock. In Bocchi the Rock, they can pursue their goals, express their personalities, and establish strong bonds with one another. Again, you do see the SJW leanings here in the writing here by this writer. Again, bordering. I mean, she doesn't outright condemn men, but she's coming pretty close. This writer, this article is coming pretty close. Um, in this respect, Mochi the Rock offers young women a series of widely different role models to choose from, demonstrating that they can be whoever they want to be and go after whatever dream they might want to chase. Um, what's more, the anime suggests that even when it comes to love and attraction, there is more than one answer and one path. Uh, All right. So, anyways, see where we're at on time here. Oh wow, we're already at hour 7 here. Okay. Let's see. Just out of curiosity, how many more articles were we going to? Maybe I should. Maybe I should have in fact started within the. Well, let's see. An hour 7. So let's see. I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go over. Since we did spend a few bit of time here in the anime stuff, go over and check the comic and TV sections real quick here. Try to stay within a day this time. Is there anything in these areas that give some interest that aren't going to be spoiler? Let's see. The devil believes God has tasked him with becoming. Okay, that sounds like a spoiler. Spider-Man's biggest foe just gifted the wall crawler his entire empire. All right. The Panther has been expelled from Wakanda again. Marvel celebrates. Okay, well, here's something we can probably look at. Let me just check, make sure there's nothing going to say like spoiler on it or. All right, so we'll go into this one then on the comics aspect of it. Marvel celebrates Nick Fury's 60th anniversary with an oversized one-shot. Marvel is celebrating the 60th anniversary of Nick Fury with a new oversized one-shot from writer Al Ewing and a number of talented artists. Yeah, I think we did see this coming out this week. In fact, this probably came out today. If I had to guess. An article by Brennan Schwer published 8 hours ago. Marvel is celebrating Nick Fury's 60th anniversary with a new oversized one-shot Fury #1 from writer Al Ewing and artist Scott Eaton, Tom Riley, Adam Kubert, and Ramon Rosanas. Releasing in May 2023, okay, so a little later on actually, Fury #1 celebrates 6 decades of the iconic Marvel character who was originally created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby in 1963. The story will begin by introducing a new villain named Scorpio, Scorpio, who begins targeting Fury's son, Nick Fury Jr. Each artist involved with Fury #1 will then illustrate a different time period in Fury's life and history, ranging from Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos to his present role as the Man on the Wall. Quote, no stranger to radical character transformations, the one-shot will present a key turning point for the character, and in the end, both father and son will emerge with fresh purpose, the publisher said, unquote. I guess that's the cover right there. Mm-hmm. All right, so there we go. Let's see. Let me just check something here. Yep. Fury will feature plenty of action, gadgets, and more. Marvel further teased of Fury, a glamorous rogue agent with a deadly secret, lures Nick Fury into the action thrill of a lifetime. His father's following the trail opens never before seen Fury files from the howling 40s, the swinging 60s, and today. But it takes more than one Nick Fury to unlock the mystery decades in the making, and to answer the question, who is Scorpio? Too cold Scorpio. Professional wrestler. And Scorpio there. Quote, Nick Fury is an entire history of comics in one character. Unquote. Ewing, who is currently writing Wasp, X-Men Red, which has temporarily been replaced by Storm and the Brotherhood of Mutants for the X-Men Sins of Sinister event, and Venom for Marvel, said of the announcement, quote, shifting from a tough-talking World War II sergeant specializing in impossible missions to an uncle-esque, I guess that's a reference to the TV show A Man from Uncle. Uncle-esque secret agent beating James Bond at his own game, to a Machiavellian man in the shadows making the gray moral choices we've come to associate with the evolving espionage genre. And when the original Fury went cosmic, his son followed in those same footsteps, doing all that with a modern spin and an eye on the silver screen. Portrayal of our favorite sci-fi spy guy. So how to celebrate 60 years of Nick Fury, with 40 story pages of twists, turns, action, gadgets, and old school thrills, pitting the Fury family against a new menace with a mysterious connection to the earliest days of the Howling Commandos, and setting both Nicks up for the adventures of a lifetime. Don't yield, true believer, back shield. Fury #1 features cover art by Kubert. The issue releases May 24th, 2023 from Marvel. Alrighty then, so there we go with that one. And where are we at on time? Hour 16. Maybe we might be able to get. Let's see what else we have here. I don't think I'm gonna get into that. Look at some TV news here, real quick. If there's anything on the animation front that might be of interest. Let's see. HBO Max's rebrand is aimed at parents allowing children to use the service. All right, that sounds somewhat interesting. Why don't we take a look at that? HBO Max's rebrand is aimed at parents allowing children to use the service. HBO Chairman CEO Casey Bloys says the rebranding of HBO Max is being done so parents will feel comfortable letting their children use the service. Article by Leo Reina published 22 hours ago. Oh, God, don't tell me what. Oh, they did not do that to Hanna-Barbera. Is this what the Cal Art stuff is supposed to look like? Did they just Cal Art with this thing, whatever this thing is? Did they just Cal Art Hanna-Barbera right here? I guess this is their version, their artistic versions of Huckleberry Hound, Doggy Daddy, Augie Doggy, Boo Boo. I guess Yogi and Cindy right there, and Top Cat in the back. Oh man, yuck, yuck. Hey, Casey Bloys, the chairman and CEO of HBO, revealed in an interview with Parrot Analytics that the rebranding of HBO Max streaming service is aimed at parents hesitant to let their children use a streaming service with the HBO name. Parrot Analytics. That name's been kind of popular lately because that's one of the that's the analytics company that's getting a lot of news because they're according to their particular studies, Velma's a big hit. I know Yellow Flash has talked about this. However, what they don't tell you is that the criteria they use is not necessarily the best criteria. They use more how much people are talking about the show in order to say whether or not it's a good show, which is not the case. All right, anyways, the fan-run animation on HBO Max account shared a clip from the Bloys interview on Twitter. The host of the interview was entertainment industry strategist Brandon Katz for the Parrot Analytics YouTube channel. In the interview, Bloys brought up the elephant in the room regarding the debate over renaming HBO Max. Although Bloys values the HBO brand, he admits the cable channel's history of prestigious entertainment aimed at an adult audience can be a red flag for families wanting to use HBO Max for their kids. Quote, if you're a parent with kids, you may not automatically think, oh, HBO, in smaller quote, that's the place I'm going to park my kids in front of, unquote. Bloys told Katz. Now, mind you, HBO, like a lot of the cable channels, does actually have like HBO Family and all that. So they do have kind of a family-friendly channel among their channels. So Bloys believes family entertainment for streaming services is important and says that that's one of the factors being talked about in discussions of renaming and remarketing HBO Max. Although Bloys praised the strong library of family entertainment from Warner Brothers Discovery and Cartoon Network, he thinks the HBO name negatively impacted the performance of streaming platforms' original offerings for kids. I don't know. Well, let's see. Well, if we look at Velma, we can't necessarily say that about because Velma was directed at adults, but he said the pause on greenlighting family originals was due to the reevaluation of HBO Max and suggest it will be re-examined with a new identity when a new identity is chosen for the streaming service. Quote, until we figure out what the combined product looks like, and how it's marketed, we kind of wanted to pause on the kids stuff besides the library. Well, he said, I don't know what that's gonna translate to. I know we have great kids resources within Warner Brothers Discovery, but we gotta get to the new combined product. HBO Max has come under fire for the sudden cancellations and delistings of movies and TV shows once exclusive to the platform. Animation aimed at kids was the biggest victim of the chopping block. Shows like Infinity Twins were removed from HBO Max with no streaming alternative available, while original animated movies like Driftwood were canceled despite being announced a few months before. Despite Warner Brothers Discovery's commitment to DC and Looney Tunes brands, projects like Batman the Caped Crusader and The Day Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, were abandoned by HBO Max and are now being shopped to rival streaming services. HBO Max has also removed half of its classic Looney Tunes library. Well, yeah, well, I know about the classic Looney because there are some stuff in the classic Looney Tunes stuff that, unfortunately, many people today consider offensive. You can look that stuff up on anywhere on YouTube. Where just search for the term banned cartoons, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyways, we're at hour 24 here, so I guess it's a good time to start wrapping things up a little bit. So we'll probably we will go ahead and just do the wrestling wrap up here, and then we will this day in each history. Then we'll wrap up for certain here. So first off, with some wrestling news on the WWE side of things. So first off, a couple of retirement announcements happened. So one was an announcement of a retirement. One was a confirmation of a retirement. Booker T officially has. Yeah, we'll be getting to it in a few minutes, Woody. We got to go through the wrestling news first. Let me get through that, and then we'll be doing Niche History here probably right after. So sit tight. Okay. So, anyways, back to what I was saying. There's been one announced retirement and a confirmed retirement that just took place within the last couple of days here. So Booker T has announced that he has officially retired from in-ring competition. While he still will be working with his students in his Reality of Wrestling promotion based in Houston, he is, his appearance at this year's Royal Rumble, I think, was his last official major event he participated in. So he'll still be doing stuff. He'll probably still be training and doing stuff for his own promotion of Reality of Wrestling in Houston. And in a recent interview, Batista also confirmed that he is in fact retired. He confirmed that when he announced his retirement back in 2019, he did officially retire. So let's see. Some other WWE related news, as has been reported over the last few days. This past Monday, Jerry Lawler was rushed to the hospital from his home in Florida. I think yesterday, Dutch, the person we know as Dutch Mantel, aka Wayne Cohen, reported on an update on Lawler's condition. Lawler has suffered his third coronary issue in the last 11 years here. He suffered a stroke the other night at his home and was rushed to hospital for it. Some of you might remember him having a heart attack on live TV back in 2012. I was thinking it's 2010, but it's 2012. He apparently had a stroke 5 years ago in 2018, what I heard of the report. And now he had a stroke this past. You got to remember, Lawler's 73 years old. He was born in the same year that, I believe it was September of 49, the same year that Ric Flair was born in. They also both started around the same time in the wrestling business. So, hopes and prayers for Lawler and his family. Hopefully, he'll be able to recover, for his sake. And also in, let's see, so anything else? And of course, so that's all I got on the WWE side of things. Now, in terms of AEW news, tonight's Dynamite is a championship. They call the championship night on Dynamite, in which you're going to have four matches that actually I think all 5 matches have championship implications. You got Bryan Danielson taking on Rush. If he beats Rush tonight, he will be able to get his 60-minute Iron Man match versus MJF for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. You also have a couple of title matches tonight in which the Elite defend the Trios title, or as some of us would call it, the 6-man title, against Top Flight and AR Fox. And also, and I already saw something on this, but I'm going to wait till tomorrow to report it. But the Acclaimed is defending the AEW World Tag Team titles tonight against the Guns, against Colton and Austin Gunn, the sons of course, Billy Gunn. So, also you have, and what AEW calls a couple of title eliminator matches. In AEW, they have a type of match in which a person challenges a champion for the right to challenge them at a later date for the title. So you have a couple of matches there in which MJF is taking on Konosuke Takeshita, and if Takeshita defeats him, he will have an opportunity for the AEW World Title at some point in the future. And then the Bunny will be taking on Jamie Hayter to earn a future shot at the AEW Women's Championship. I will actually report the results tomorrow. Just, I think, go overnight. From what I understand, the results are actually already posted, but I'm not going to share them until tomorrow. And in another piece of interesting news, it would appear that Ryback, if you guys remember Ryback from WWE fame, born Ryan Reeves, he may be putting feelers out to AEW that he might be interested in going to work for them. Now, whether or not that will actually happen, because I think Ryback is considered kind of a pariah on the wrestling scene, as it were. Over much of his criticism of how he's handled himself over the years, and some people are even saying that he's not safe to work with. Now, some of the guys that he worked with in the WWE, of course, are actually in AEW. So the chances of him now, one of the things he was waiting on, the reason he was out of wrestling for so long, is because he was working on getting the trademark to Ryback, to his name, to his ring name. He was working on that. And apparently, he's now got that. Once all the paperwork is finalized and stuff like that, he'll be able to now make appearances under the name Ryback. He now has the trademark for it. So, and also with some other interesting news, the NWA will be holding its Nuff Said pay-per-view this Saturday, the 11th from Tampa. Matches signed for that event include Tyrus, who some of you might remember as Brody Clay, or if you've probably seen him on Fox, on some Fox News programming. He's a current NWA World Champion. He'll be defending the match against Matt Cardona, and he earned the right to name the stipulations for the match by teaming up with Blunt Force Trauma to defeat Matt Cardona, Mike Knox, and Rolando Freeman in a six-man tag match on last night's Power. The stipulations he chose for the match was for it to be strictly a one-on-one match. That's it. Nothing fancy, just him and Cardona, as even Tyrus recently admitted, he's the disputed NWA World Champion. The reason it's disputed is because Cardona was never actually pinned for the title. Cardona was forced to relinquish the NWA World title because of an injury. And then even in the triple threat match between Cardona and Trevor Murdoch and Tyrus, Cardona was not pinned. So it is still disputed, as it were. And this match this weekend should end that dispute. Also, the NWA World Tag Team titles are going to be on the line this weekend's Nuff Said pay-per-view. La Rebellion with Bestia 666 and Mecha Wolf 450 will be with Damien 666 in their corner. Will be defending the titles against Blunt Force Trauma, Damage, and Carnage, with Aaron Stevens in their corner. Women's champion Camille will be involved in a no holds barred match against Angelina Love, while her husband, Camille's husband Tom Latimer takes on Fodder in a Singapore cane match, which of course the Singapore cane is used and is legal in the match. For the women's tag titles, Pretty Empowered will be answering the challenge of the Renegade twins, Charlotte and Robin Renegade, who recently earned the title shot. Who earned the title shot last night, in fact, on the Power taping by defeating Ella Envy and Roxy, the Pretty Empowered Pledge, with Kenzie Page handcuffed to the turnbuckle during the match. Then the NWA World Junior Heavyweight Championship will be on the line as Kerry Morton answers the challenge of Alex Taylor, who is cashing in his Championship Series opportunity that he recently won. We also know that Mims had also cashed in his championship opportunity in a match against Jordan Clearwater on last night's Power, in which Clearwater retained the television title. Scion, with Austin Idol in his corner, will be answering the challenge for the National Heavyweight Championship against Homicide. Let's see. And in some of the other undercard matches, you have include Chris Adonis and Trevor Murdoch taking each other on. you have EC3 taking on the debuting Kevin Kiley. And that's all for Enough Said this Saturday. In Tampa. Anyways, with that being said, we're now done with all the wrestling news for now. So now it's time to really wind things down by getting into this day in each history. History! So today is Wednesday, February the 8th. We're going to take a look back at this day in each history. Just got a review here, 73, 93, and 98. Okay, so here we go. So now we're getting set for this day in each history. So first off, we're going to head back 50 years ago today. As on this date, 50 years ago today, the first issue of Walt Disney's Daisy and Donald went on sale from Gold Key on this day back in 1973. Sold for 15 cents for 32 pages. So on this date, back in 1973, the first issue of Walt Disney's Daisy and Donald went on sale on this date back in 1973. We're heading to 30 years ago today, 1993, as on this date, 1993, Tim Horn at the Jellicoe TV tape at the Smoky Mountain Wrestling TV tapings in Jellicoe on the 8th, Tim Horner defeated the Night Stalker. This, of course, this would air on March 6th of that year. But on this date in 1993, Tim Horner would defeat the Night Stalker 6 days after the Night Stalker defeated Tracy Smothers for the Smoky Mountain Beat the Champ television title. So Tim Horner would defeat Night Stalker on this date for the television title at the Jellicoe tapings for Smoky Mountain Wrestling. And finally, final bit of Neat history here. Going back 25 years ago today, and on this date, 25 years ago today, the Simpsons episode, The Joy of Sect, premiered on this date back in 1998, 25 years ago today, on Fox. That's The Joy of Sect, not to be confused with The Joy of Sex. The Joy of Sect was basically, let's see, it was the episode that involved a cult taking over Springfield and the Simpson family becoming members. So on this date in 1998, 25 years ago today, the Simpsons episode The Joy of Sect premiered on this date back in 1998. Well, I thank everybody for being here tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Got a lot out of it. Tim Olson will be with me on Friday as we look back over comics from August of 1939. This week we'll be focusing on comics from Fox Feature Syndicate, Mystery Men Comics, Wonderworld, focusing on characters like the Flame, Green Mask, Blue Beetle, Zanzibar Magician. So I hope to see everybody back here on Friday. I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow. One more Niche News. With that, guys, I thank y'all for being here, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.